Shall we try that again? And run beat. Hit the wrong opening titles, didn't I? Anyway, hello everybody. Welcome to Sunday Night Ghost Stories. Not Sunday Night Ghost Stories Extra. Sunday Night Ghost Stories on a Sunday as nature intended. As you can see, I'm here in the library with the fire on, and I've got perched on my knee here his royal derpy lurpiness. You all right there, Derps? Who's probably enjoying the fact that because I'm wearing my outdoor work trousers, they're actually quite thick and warm. So make your own jokes up, folks. So yeah, so here we are in the library. It's Sunday night. It's Ghost Stories. And it will come as no surprise to you. I's gut hungry. I am absolutely starving, my lovers. So as soon as we're finished here, we're downstairs to watch some more episodes of Mandy, which is hilarious, by the way, and then have some supper. So supper's ready, Derp. Epic song by Genesis from 1972. But I digress. What are we reading tonight? We are still reading The Brilliant Haunted Places of Scotland, which is absolutely fabulous. Oh my goodness me. I cannot tell you what a brilliant book this is. I can tell you it's brilliant, but there we go. What are we drinking tonight? Well, we're on a 2-beer approach tonight. So the first one was one of my subscription beers, and it's the Elements of Beer yeast, and this one is Tales Hazy IPA from the Amundsen Brewery. It's just seeing what it says. Doesn't say anything really. Ingredients. Just seeing ingredients: water, malted barley, malted wheat, flaked oats, hops, yeast, and that's it. 5.5%. So it's not slacking in that regard. Artwork by The Shallow Tree, which is brilliant. Brewed and canned for Amundsen Brewery in the EU, imported to the UK by Beer 52. So this is what I love about these beers, is that they all come with this absolutely fabulous artwork. Yeah, I quite happily carry on subscribing to them, apart from it's quite a lot of money each month to allocate to beer. But anyway, Derps, what do you know? We haven't even read a ghost story yet, and already there has been a casualty on the battlefield, as in a dead soldier.
Oh, it's jolly nice of you. Hello, dead soldier. Seen plenty of those in my time.
Love that film. Right, Derp's just got off my lap. So here we are, Cortashy Castle. Cortashy, an impressive courtyard castle dating from the 15th century, has long been the property of the Ogilvy Earls of Airlie. Charles II spent a night here in 1650 in the King's Room, and the building was sacked by Cromwell in revenge. The castle reputedly has a harbinger of death, a phantom drummer heard to be playing along with other eerie music when one of the family is about to die. The phantom drummer is said to be the bogle of a man who had either had an affair with the laird's wife or did not raise the alarm when the castle was about to be attacked, depending on the version. The drummer was killed by dumping him into his drum and throwing him from the battlements of the castle. Before he died, he cursed the family, saying that his drums would be heard whenever one of the family neared death. The third version is that the man was burned to death in 1645 after being taken as a hostage. It is said that the drums were heard several times in the 19th century and heralded deaths in the family, including two of the earls, their wives, and their relations. The drummer also appears to have been witnessed at Achnacarry near Fort William and also abroad, and was not bound to Cortashi. There are no accounts of the drums having been heard recently, and it might be pointed out that the time between the drums being heard and the death happening was up to 6 months. Gardens occasionally open under Scotland's garden schemes. Telephone number, website. The beer yawns already, folks, and we haven't even had a beer. Well, I'm happy to correct myself on that note now. So, in the magnificent Rush beer glass, again, thank you, viewers, Kirsten and Steve in the United States. Cheers, me beers. That's really quite nice. Yeah, not bad. Perhaps I'll go bi-monthly on the beer subscriptions. Just get it every other month. Which I know that's what bi-monthly means, but anyway. Coole Castle. Coole Castle was held by the Durwoods in the 13th century, hereditary Dorwoods to the kings of Scots. The stronghold saw action in the Wars of Independence, but may have been abandoned as early as the 14th century, and it is very ruinous. When one of the Durwood family was near death, the bell of the church at Coole is said to have tolled by itself. I think we'll have a bit more beer. Cheers, me beers. Oh, lovely. County buildings, Ayr. The county buildings were erected in 1818 to 22 and then extended in 1931. The site covers the former jail, which has been demolished, and the buildings include the striking classical courthouse housing the Sheriff Court. The site is reputedly haunted by a headless apparition of a man thought to have been one of the prisoners executed here. South Ayrshire Council headquarters, apparently, county buildings. Oh, the beers again. Oh, dearie me. Sorry, I am being a bit puerile here. Have you met me? Time for another beer, I think. Cheers, me beers. Oh, lovely. County buildings, Lanark. The former county buildings with an imposing classical edifice are said to be haunted by the phantom of a nun, and there have reputedly been sightings, usually in the evening. The building was used as a hospital until the 1960s. Right, you're coming up, Derps. You're coming up, come on. You are holding up the Ghost Story show. People are tuning in from around the world. Friends all over the world, not in this country, but all over the world. No, I don't want to do Google Update, so go away. You're coming up. Now, I've got my outdoor trousers on. These are my kind of outdoor working / walking trousers, which I got from Lidl for, what were they, $9.99? Yeah. I've realised this evening that they've actually got... Oh, no, sorry. I thought they had detachable lower legs. They're not. They're just like a vent. Oh, that's a shame. I thought I could turn them into shorts, but there we go. Right. County Hotel, Dumfries. Standing at the end of the high street, the building dated from the 18th century, but was closed in the 1980s. It was here that Bonnie Prince Charlie and his army stopped in 1745, which is 5:45, on their way north after withdrawing from England. The prince held court and slept in the inn, and in 1936, a guest claimed they saw the apparition of a man dressed in tartan, entering by a disused door and then returning the same way. The hotel, sorry, the adjoining room, itchy nose. Try it again. And in 1936, a guest claimed they saw the apparition of a man dressed in tartan entering by a disused door and then returning the same way. The adjoining room is said to have been Bonnie Prince Charlie's bedroom. The hotel has been demolished and the site is occupied by shops. Derp's just going to sit on the floor here because he's, I don't know if you can see, look, see if I can point you down. He's just there. You can just see his ears. He's sat right in front of the fire, which is why he's not going to jump up on my lap because he's girt warm, isn't he? So cheers, me beers. Oh. County Hotel, Peebles. The hotel buildings incorporate a vaulted cellar, which probably dates from the 16th century. This may be part of one of the 6 Bastille houses which survived in the town as late as 1870. The County Hotel is said to be haunted by the ghost of a young woman killed in a tunnel behind the dining room sometime in the early 1900s. Her indistinct apparition has reputedly been seen. Objects have mysteriously disappeared or been moved, and ghostly whispers have been reported. What do you make of that, Derp? Oh, itchy nose. Itchy nose. Oh, let's get myself comfortable here. That's better. Slimes me fire. What are we up to, Derp? 14 minutes. Goodness me. Courtaulds, Wishaw. The works here, latterly owned by Courtaulds, produced lingerie for retailers such as Marks and Spencer's, but the plant is apparently to close or has closed, according to recent reports in the media. The plant is said to be haunted by the spirit of Willie Primrose. The story goes back to the 1930s, when reportedly Primrose worked as a labourer in the works, but had the misfortune to be accidentally locked in the boiler room over a weekend and was found dead on the Monday. Various manifestations were then attributed to Primrose's bogle, including making lifts go up and down by themselves, switching lights on and off, and making machinery operate even though the power had been switched off. It is said, try it again. It is said that since the death of the man who locked Primrose in the boiler room, the haunting ceased. These are beautifully short, absolutely magnificent. I don't know if you can just see, there we go, look. There he is, look, you can see his little head. He's soaking up the heat from the fire. Because we've got the fire on tonight because it's bloody cold in here. You're right there, Derp. No, he's going to settle down in front of the fire. Right. Cheers. Covenator Hotel, Falkland. The former Covenator Hotel, located in the centre of the historic village, famous for its royal palace and now called Luigino's. Yeah, Luigino's. Read that again. The former Covenator Hotel, located in the centre of the historic village, famous for its royal palace and now called Luigino's, dates from 1771, but stands on the site of an earlier dwelling. The building is now used as an Italian restaurant. You don't say. A delicatessen and offers accommodation. That's accommodating of it. During its time as the Covenanter Hotel, the place was said to be haunted by the apparition of a woman, which was identified as Mary, Queen of Scots. She gets around a bit, although it is far from clear why she should haunt here. One account has the ghost being spotted in one of the bedrooms where it was reputedly seen to fly across the chamber. Other reported manifestations include the odour of lavender being smelt in one of the rooms. Other reported manifestations include the odour of lavender being smelt in one room, mysterious noises such as footsteps from unoccupied areas, and several instances of unexplained sharp drops in temperature experienced by guests and staff. A paranormal investigation was undertaken in October 2006 by Scottish Paranormal Investigations website address. See, October 2006 still feels fresh in the memory. It'd be 20 years ago this year. Goodness me, I can't fathom it out, Derp. No, he can't fathom it out either. What are we up to? 18 minutes. Goodness me, Derps. We should have rationed this beer tonight. Cheers, me beers. We haven't had the bump yet. I think we'll have the bump. No, we'll have a bit of bump now. Oh, your good health. Oh, I can feel that doing me good already. Coilet Inn. Standing on the banks of Loch Eck, the Coilet Inn, originally known as the Loch Eck Inn, is a small family-run country hotel and dates back to 1650, when it was a coaching inn on the Glasgow-Dunoon Road. The inn is set in a picturesque area, surrounded by the Argyll Forest Park. The building is believed to be haunted by a blue boy, the apparition of a young lad who returns to find his mother, claimed to have been seen in room 4. Objects are said to have mysteriously disappeared from one area, only to reappear in another. Staff have also reported wet footprints when nobody has been present to make them, and the sound of disembodied footsteps. The story goes that a young lad staying at Coilet on occasion walked in his sleep. One night in a dream, he left the hotel, crossed the road, and wandered down into Loch Eck. He was drowned in the cold water, leaving his body chill and blue. It is thought to be his ghost which causes the disturbances, and the story was incorporated into a film in 1994. A paranormal investigation was undertaken in November 2005 by Ghost Finders website address. Slange. Oh, slangy. Oh. Craigard House Hotel. Craigard House Hotel was built in about 1800. Craigard House Hotel was built in about 1800 as a shooting lodge, but latterly was used as a hotel before this was closed and the building converted to residential use. The hotel was said to be haunted, the story being that a servant girl there threw herself from one of the tower windows in the 1920s, and that her bogle then returned to haunt the building. Her ghost was reputedly often witnessed. Oh my goodness me, Derps. These are brilliant stories. What are we up to? 21 minutes. Yeah, we're rapidly getting to half time. Cheers. Craigbrook Castle, Edinburgh. Nestling beneath Corstorphine Hill, Craigbrook Castle, Edinburgh. Nestling beneath Corstorphine Hill, Craigbrook is a large castellated mansion which incorporates an old tower house. The tower was probably built by the Adamson family in the 16th century, and Craigbrook has been owned by many families down the centuries, including by Archibald Constable, who started the publishing firm, and by Lord Francis Jeffrey, the well-known judge who died in 1850. It is his ghost that is said to haunt the building. We'll point out, viewer David, if you're watching, Lord Francis Jeffrey, no relation to Judge Jeffreys. Many disturbances have been reported in recent times, including unexplained footsteps and noises, things being moved around and thrown, and the doorbell ringing when nobody is apparently present. The library is also reputed to be unnaturally cold at times. A library unnaturally cold at times, Derp. Wouldn't mind. This is a south-facing room. It should be warm all the time. But oh my goodness me! Mind you, it is a bit chilly out there tonight. So yeah, we'll cut some slack there. It is winter, although just over a couple of weeks' time it'll be spring. So cheers, me beers. Oh, delicious. Right. Craigdarroch House. Craigdarroch House is an elegant classical mansion built by the famous architect William Adam in 1720 for the Fergusons, although the mansion incorporates an older dwelling or castle. Damaged by fire in 1984, Craigdarroch was restored and is still occupied. The lands were held by the Fergusons, and they opposed the Jacobites and fled from the house in 1745 when Bonnie Prince Charlie arrived here on the long road back from England looking for lodgings. The house was left in a terrible state, although it was restored, and the Fergusons held Craigdarroch until 1962. Craigdarroch is the scene of an eerie tale regarding a haunted saddle. John Ferguson was a colonel in the army and was killed at Killiecrankie in 1689. His servant returned to Craigdarroch with his gear, including his horse and his saddle. The story goes that Elizabeth, his wife, was stunned when she heard the news, would not accept that her husband was dead, and soon ailed and died young. Her ghost then reputedly began to haunt the building, and it is reported that activity was centered around the saddle, which was kept here until 1918. The bogle is said to have been exorcised by a priest in 1920, since which ghostly activity has not been reported. Elizabeth was, however, married twice following the death of her husband, so an alternative identity has been suggested. The ghost may have been a spirit of John's mother, Elizabeth Maxwell. It is also said that the ringing of all the bells at the same time in the house would sometimes be heard, heralding the death of one of the family. What are we up to? 26 minutes. Not bad. Not bad going. Cheers, me. Oh no, we've drunk that. In which case, we are going to crack open the coffee stout. The beer burps at 28 minutes and 40 seconds. There we go. So we are going to crack open the coffee stout, a firm favourite here at Sunday Night Ghost Stories. Rich, dark and indulgent, brewed in the UK in partnership with Hall and Woodhouse, the well-known 1980s pop duo. Rich, dark and indulgent with subtle coffee aromas, caramel and vanilla notes. Complex, yet perfectly smooth. Oh, I love this stuff. What it is I used to have the Derail Ale from the Box Steam Brewery, but they went out of business. Obviously, I wasn't buying enough Derail Ale, but thankfully Aldi do the coffee stout and they do the toffee stout as well. So win-win, everybody, win-win. Right, let's have a bit more of the bump. Oh. I can see we're going to have to buy another bottle of the single grain this week, but no great hardship. Oh, we got some fan mail turning up. No, I'll do that half time. Right, we're up to Craig Hall. Standing on a steep hill above a river, Craig Hall, or Craig Hall Rattray, a grand 19th century baronial mansion, incorporates part of an old castle. The property passed to the Rattray family at the beginning of the 16th century, or from earlier. Patrick Rattray of Craig Hall was driven from his original stronghold of Rattray in 1516 by the Earl of Atholl, who also kidnapped his nieces and then had Patrick murdered in his own chapel. The family supported Charles I, and as a result, the castle was besieged around 1650, which is 10 minutes to 7. The castle is reputedly haunted, the story going back to this siege. The family were in hiding, and a young servant girl would not reveal their whereabouts. Although interrogated, the poor girl would not betray the family, and she was then thrown from one of the upstairs windows to her death. Tapping sounds are said to come from the window of the chamber where she was pushed, and unexplained footsteps heard around the building, as well as mysterious knocking and banging. There was also a tale of a grey lady, but it is not clear if this is the same ghost. Accommodation available, website address, blah, blah, blah. 30 minutes on the dot. You should have seen that. We actually were 30 minutes, perfectly 30 minutes. Half-time, derps. Well, we are going to have some snacks. God bless you. God bless you, Faye, because she didn't buy these for me, but she suggested I get them. So these are crinkles, oven-baked, not fried. And this is their red hot original whatever, limited edition. And we've got some mini cheddars. Bear with. Hello, who sent me a picture of a Siamese cat? Oh, I bet that's Julie. Bear with. I'm just being puerile here, folks, with friends of mine. Bear with. More Fanark. Now, I've just had some... who sent me some pictures of a Siamese cat? Well, that's a... Oh, right, okay. I'm just going to check out WhatsApp chat here. Right, there we go. I found where we've... I found where this has come from. So what have we been up to today, Derps? Not much. Obviously prepping for our other show that we do, and also a bit of work today, finishing off some artwork. I need to do some gardening at some stage, but what do we do Friday? Well, I told you about Friday already. No, that's been it. That's not been a massively industrious day today, but it has been good nonetheless whatsoever. And no complaints here. No complaints here, because at even the dullest days, the dullest, worst days, I count my blessings that I am not hooked up to a life support machine or a ventilator or a drip or have a catheter in my nether regions. They're all small bonuses, folks, small pluses, small victories. That's the word I'm looking for. I was trying to figure out why there was a finger on the screen there. It's the mouse on the track panel on the MacBook. So yeah, no complaints. So that's pretty much it, really. I haven't got anything else to add. What kind of week have I got ahead of me? Fingers crossed. Well, hopefully a walk with Reg Wednesday, and we are looking at doing a walk in that there Weston-super-Mare, so that should be good. Hoping to see friend Laura during the week. Hoping to see friend Tara at the end of the week. In fact, friend Tara sent me an interesting story tonight about how was it described? It was the Suffolk village where two children appeared from another world. I'm going to look that up, actually. The Suffolk village, two children, another world. The Green Children of Woolpit. Right, this is what friend Tara sent me. The legend of the Green Children of Woolpit concerns two children of unusual skin colour who reportedly appeared in the village of Woolpit in Suffolk, England, sometime in the 12th century, perhaps during the reign of King Stephen, 1135 to 1154. The children, found to be brother and sister, were of generally normal appearance, except for the green colour of their skin. They spoke in an unknown language and would only eat raw, broad beans. Eventually, they learned to eat other food and lost their green colour. But the boy was sickly and died around the time of his and his sister's baptism. The girl adjusted to her new life, but she was considered to be very wanton and impudent. After she learned to speak English, the girl explained that she and her brother had come from a land where the sun never shone and the light was like twilight. According to one version of the story, she said that everything there was green. According to another, she said it was called St. Martin's Land. Well, explanations. Oh, God, no, I'm not reading this out. It's far too long. Other commentators have suggested that the children may have been aliens. Really? or inhabitants of a world beneath the earth. Robert Burton suggested in his 1621 The Anatomy of Melancholy that the green children fell from heaven, an idea that seemed to have been picked up by Francis Godwin, historian and Bishop of Hereford, in his speculative fiction The Man in the Moon, published posthumously in 1638, which draws on William of Newborough's account. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Here we go. However, Derek Brewer's explanation is even more prosaic. The likely core of the matter is that these very small children herding or following flocks strayed from their forest village, spoke little, and, in modern terms, did not know their own home address. They were probably suffering from chlorosis, a deficiency disease which gives the skin a greenish tint, hence the term green sickness. With a better diet, it disappears. I'd agree with that. I'm not going to read any more of it, but there we go. So that was the story viewer Tara sent me. It was a video, but the Suffolk village where two children appeared from another world. Thanks, Tara. Cheers, me beers. Oh, all that coffee stout is marvelous stuff. What are we up to? 38 minutes. I thought we were farther down the show than that, but are you happy down there, Derps? You are? Good, right, jolly good. Right. Craighead Inn, Cumnock. The Craighead Inn dates from 1722 or earlier, and the building is reported to have had a ghost in the attic. Oh, the beer burps again, do apologise. 39 minutes. Oh, get them out there. Apparently it's now a public house. Craiglore Castle. Craiglore incorporates a square 16th century tower house of 3 stories and an attic, and was originally a property of the Muirs. Craiglore was sold to the Gordons of Kenmure in 1513 and passed to the Hamiltons in 1741 and remains with them. The house was enlarged and altered in 1870, although much of this was demolished in the 1950s, and it is still occupied. The castle was said at one time to be haunted when an apparition terrified a cook. The then owner of Craiglore got his gun and shot at the ghost, but it had no effect. The bogle was apparently exorcised and has not been witnessed since. You surprise me. What are we up to? 21 minutes and 53 seconds. Bear with. I hope you had a good weekend. Catch up. That's not how you spell catch up, JM. Catch up in week. That'll do. Craighouse Square, Kilbirnie. The square is reputed to be haunted by 2 ghosts, both of them thought to be of people who killed themselves. One bogle is said to be that of an Italian who jumped from a window, while the other is reputedly that of an ice cream seller who murdered his family. Incroyable. Cheers, me beers. Oh, I think we'll top this up. I think we'll have a few more of the Sunday night ghost stories beer snacks as well. Oh, no, hang about. Hang about. We have another casualty and Run VT.
Oh, it's jolly nice of you. Hello, dead soldier. Seen plenty of those in my time.
Ah, great film. What else have I got on my list of great films to watch, Derps? Death in Venice, which includes the Adagiato from Mahler's Fifth, which is absolutely beautiful music. We've also got Private's Progress to watch and I'm All Right, Jack, which are also two films with the same characters in Balting Brothers films from the 1950s or 60s, Derp, 50s, we think. I still haven't got around to watching the new series of Star Trek Starfleet Academy, whatever it's called. I'm still playing catch up with Mandy, which is hilarious. So let's crack on. What are we up to? 43 minutes. Craig House, Edinburgh. Craig House is a much altered 16th century house, which is dated 1565 and 1746. The castle was built by the Simmons, but passed to Lord Provost Sir William Dick, and then to the Elphinstones. Used for a time as part of a psychiatric hospital, Craig House is now in the campus of Napier University and is occupied as offices. In 1712, which is almost 5:15, it was a property of Sir Thomas Elphinstone, who was married to the much younger Elizabeth Pittendale. Elizabeth is said to have fallen in love with Elphinstone's son John, and Sir Thomas caught them together. Although there was nothing apparently improper in their conduct, nevertheless, Sir Thomas got in a terrible rage and stabbed Elizabeth to death. John managed to escape. When Sir Thomas came to himself again, he was aghast and committed suicide. John Elphinstone then inherited the property and let the house, but a green lady, the spirit of Elizabeth, began to haunt the building. The hauntings only ceased when Elizabeth's remains were removed from the burial vault of her husband. When John died, he is said to have been buried beside her. The story does not appear to have any historical basis. Another ghost said to haunt here is that of Jackie Gordon. Who's Jackie Gordon? Doesn't say. Jackie. Is that Flash's sister? We don't know. Anyway, part of Napier University, weddings can be held here. Website address, blah, blah, blah. Oh, Faye, no wonder my weight's gone up recently because I'm snacking on crisps, but cheers. Slange. Craigivar Castle. A romantic castle in rolling parkland. Craigivar is a tall and massive L-plan tower house which was completed in 1626, which is almost 4:30. The property belonged to the Mortimer family, but passed in 1610 to the Forbeses when the Mortimers ran out of money. The Forbeses held the building until 1953, when it went to the National Trust for Scotland. The building is reputedly haunted by a member of the Gordon family. The man was murdered by being pushed from a window of the Blue Room by the Red Sir John Forbes, 3rd Laird. It has been pointed out, however, that the bars which formerly secured the window would have made this impossible. Heavy footfalls are said, however, to have been heard to ascend the stair when there is nobody about. Another ghost is said to be that of a fiddler drowned in a well in the kitchen, who only appears to those of the Forbes family. There are also stories of other apparitions which appeared in the Great Hall when the Forbeses were in trouble. I reckon we must get through about 6 pages a show, because what are we up to? 48 minutes. Yeah, I think we're doing well here, Derbs. Yeah, about 6 pages, 8 pages a show, I reckon. Oh, lovely. Slange. Oh, we've got some fan mails turned up. Let's just read the fan mail. Just having a quick look to see what's going on here. No, that's it. I could have shared those photographs at halftime. I've got bird photographs from the garden. Perhaps I'll save them for midweek. Right. Craig Miller Castle, Edinburgh, with fabulous views over the south and east side of Edinburgh. Craig Miller is a prominent and imposing Craig Miller is a prominent and imposing ruin of a once strong and stately fortress. Dominating the buildings is a 14th century L-plan keep, which is surrounded by a later curtain wall with round towers, along with an additional walled courtyard. The Prestons held the property from 1374. James III imprisoned his brother John, Earl of Mar, in one of the cellars here, where he died. And Mary, Queen of Scots, escaped to here in 1566 after the murder of her secretary, David Rizzio. In 1660, Sir John Gilmore bought Craig Miller and had the castle altered into a comfortable residence. A walled-up skeleton was found in one of the walls in 1813, which is almost 6:15. It is said that there is often an unexplained but strong smell of lavender in the Great Hall, which has been attributed to ghostly shenanigans. Sorry, the previous one featured in Living TV's Most Haunted Series 6. That was Craigavere Castle, featured in Living TV's Most Haunted Series 6, 2005. Craig Miller Castle, Edinburgh, a paranormal investigation was undertaken in August 2005 by Spectre. Website address, blah, blah, blah. Oh, what do you reckon, Derps? You are loving it in front of that fire, aren't you? You are absolutely, I don't know if you can see that. Look, there he is. You can see his little ears poking up there. He is absolutely, you're like the pig in brown stuff, aren't you? He's going to be really upset when I turn the fire off at the end of the show. So, oh, slange. Oh, delicious. Got to see where we are now. The Craighead Inn, Cumnock. The Craighead Inn dates from 1722 or earlier, and the building is reported to have a ghost in the attic. Oh, the beer burps again. Do apologise. You're right there, Derp. You are lying on your side now, as if this is somehow your new favourite spot. I don't know if you can see that. Look, there he is. He's curled up on his side there. Goodness me. I'm going to be really fed up when I turn the heating off when we go downstairs to get the supper on the go. So, Craiglore Castle. Craiglore incorporates a 16th century tower house of 3 stories and an attic, and was originally a property of the Muirs. Craiglore was sold to the Gordons of Kent. Have we just read that one? We have. Goodness me. Craigneathon Castle. Craigneathon is a grand and imposing ruin set on top of a wooded ravine. It was built to withstand artillery and is arranged around a squat tower house, formerly with a massively thick bastion, curtain walls and corner towers. There is a caponniere, a small vaulted building used to defend the bottom of the ditch. Craigneathon was built by Sir James Hamilton of Finnart in 1532, but he was beheaded for treason only 8 years later. James Hamilton, 2nd Earl of Arran, was a very powerful man and acquired the castle, full stop. James Hamilton, 2nd Earl of Arran, was a very, very powerful. Read this perfectly. James Hamilton, 2nd Earl of Arran, was a very powerful man and acquired the castle. In 1568, Mary, Queen of Scots, may have spent 1 or more nights here before the Battle of Langside. One of the chambers in the castle was known as the Queen's Room. A headless ghost dressed in white has been reported here, identified by some as the Phantom of Mary. Although, if she is headless and not handily carrying her head, it is not easy to see how the identification could be made. Other ghosts are said to have been witnessed in this later house in the courtyard, where the unexplained voices of women have been reputedly heard, and a vague shifting apparition spotted, as well as items being mysteriously moved, pans falling off the cooker, and pictures being moved around the walls. Other unexplained manifestations include mysterious pipe music and the apparition of a woman wearing Stuart period dress, which was witnessed in the courtyard. 2 visitors followed the phantom, thinking it was a historical reenactment, before the ghost faded away. 56 minutes. Oh, we are coming towards the end here, Derp. Itchy nose. Cheers. Oh, is it going to be a 3 bumper tonight? I think it is. Craignish Castle. Set in a fine location by the sea on the Ardfern Peninsula, Craignish Castle dates from the 16th century, although it has been altered down the years into a comfortable residence. A dungeon is carved out of the rock in the vaulted basement. Craignish was and is a property of the Campbells and withstood a 6-week siege by Alasdair Colkitto MacDonald in the 1640s, which is about 20 to 5. Near the castle is the ruinous but scenic old parish church and burial ground, which has many interesting memorials. There are stories of a green lady haunting the castle, seen walking from the building, as she had done in life, to watch helplessly the drowning of her lover, a young French officer from Montrose's army. Ba-ba-ba. This is brilliant stuff, Derps. There's Derps. Look, there he is down there. Can you see him? He's soaking up the heat. What are we up to? 58 minutes. I think we need to wrap this up in a sex derp, not a sex derp. Okay, sorry, I've got sidetracked there by my wildlife page that I help run. Right, what are we up to? 59 minutes. We are rapidly running out of show derp, so we're going to go downstairs and have some supper and watch some Mandy and then some Family Guy. So cheers, me beers. Three bumper tonight? I think so. It's a 3 bumper. It's definitely going to be another trip to Lidl to get some more scotch, but Cramond Tower, Edinburgh. Although part of a larger castle at one time, Cramond Tower is a tall and narrow tower house with a vaulted basement. The tower has been suggested as the model for the House of Shaws in Robert Louis Stevenson's Kidnapped. Among the owners were the bishops of Dunkeld, 2 of whom died here, but in 1622 the property went to John Inglis, an English merchant. His grandson abandoned the tower for Cramond House in 1680. The tower became ruinous, but was restored and reoccupied in 1983. There is a story of a green lady haunting the tower. Cramond is also the site of a Roman fort, and nearby is Cramond Kirk, an interesting building dating in part from the 15th century. This will be the last one for tonight, Derps, because we are going downstairs and we're having some supper. Supper's ready, so cheers, me beers. Oh, Slange. Last un for tonight. Cranshaw's Castle. Standing in a remote and picturesque park of Berwickshire in the Lammermuir Hills, Cranshaw's is a stark and solid rectangular tower house of 4 stories, dating partly from the 15th century. Cranshaw's was a property of the Swintons from 1400, 2 o'clock, to 1702, just gone 5 o'clock, but then passed to the Douglases. The castle is reputed to have had a brownie, a supernatural being which did all. The castle is reputed to have had a brownie, a supernatural being which did all manner of chores. For many years, the brownie gathered and threshed the corn without reward or comment. But then one of the servants ungratefully moaned that the corn was not neatly gathered together. The next day, the corn was found 2 miles away at Raven's Crag in the Whitehead water, and the brownie left. The next day, the corn was found 2 miles away at Raven's Crag in the Whitehead. I misread that. The next day, the corn was found 2 miles away at Raven's Crag in the Whitehead water, and the brownie left, vowing never to return, saying, "It's no weel mowed, and it's no weel mowed. Then it's ne'er to be moved by me again. I'll scatter it over the Raven stone, and the hay some work ere it's mowed again." Website address? No, it's not. It's locations, directions, blah blah blah. That's it for tonight, folks. Oh, delicious. Sounds. In the magnificent United Federation of Planet Shot Glass, again from viewers Kirsten and Steve in the United States. So God bless you. Oh, got the last bit out of that. Right, derps. That's it for tonight. Fingers crossed, we'll be back for Sunday Night Ghost Stories Extra on a Wednesday. Got the beer burps again. Oh God, get them out. Yeah, so with a little bit of luck, oh God, get them out. What did you do on Sunday night? I watched a confused man from Dudley with holes in his head drink ghost stories and belch repeatedly. So until the next time, it behoves me to say thank you for watching. Why? Why not? What else are you going to do on a Sunday night other than watch a confused man from Dudley with holes in his head drink ghost stories and read alcohol? So until the next time, as ever, thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay out of trouble, and please don't have nightmares. Good night.